Your Minnesota Vikings are still searching for a defensive coordinator, and it seemed like all of the stars were aligning that the Denver Broncos were going to allow Ejiro Evero, a young rising superstar on the defensive side of the ball, out of his contract. He was their defense coordinator last season, and everything was coming together. There's mutual interest between Evero and the Vikings. He worked with Kevin O'Connell back in the day. He worked with Kwesi back in the day with the Niners, and he could come take over, tear down this defense, and rebuild it in his own image, and then become a head coach next offseason, and everything will be hunky-dory. The Vikings will get a good defense. Evero will get a head coaching job, and everything will be fantastic. But something happened. What happened? All right, so Tom Pelissero, go. The Panthers are hiring Ejiro Evero as their defensive coordinator per sources, a huge hire for Frank Reich and Carolina, which moves swiftly to lock up one of the NFL's best, most talented young coaches after Denver let Evero out of his contract. So, boo. I expect nothing, and I'm still let down. So it is what it is. Rap Sheet is reporting the Panthers and Vikings both had discussions with Evero, who ends up in Carolina with a huge commitment from the Panthers, which usually means money. Wouldn't shock me if Evero is the highest paid coordinator, defense coordinator in the league. Minnesota had two top candidates for DC, Evero and Brian Flores. They are now in a strong position for Flores. That is, if Flores doesn't get the Arizona head coaching job. So great. Or the Broncos defense coordinator job, by the way. And then Kevin Seifert, who is not Carl Gerbsch, pointed out Evero was the Vikings' top candidate, the top, for their defense coordinator job. They waited more than a week for him to free up, but he ends up in Carolina. Two remaining known candidates are Brian Flores and Mike Pettine. All right, so as of right now, the Vikings have officially, either interviewed or been interested, since Evero never technically had an interview, but they've had interest in 5. Sean Desai removed his name from contention, and he's focusing on trying to get the Broncos DC job. Brian Flores is still floating out there. He's still in the running for the Cardinals head coaching job, which is taking forever. And then also, like I said, the Broncos are interested in interviewing him for their DC gig. Ryan Nielsen, remember him? That was like 3 weeks ago, man. He's the new Falcons defense coordinator. Evero is apparently the new Panthers DC, and Pettine is still just chilling. But I fully understand it from Evero's standpoint. He looks at the Vikings roster. It's old. It's going to be cut down. It's going to have a lot of young players in it. And, I mean, the Panthers defense, they're badass, dude. Come on. So Brian Burns, Derek Brown, Yetigros Matos, the pride of Penn State, Shaq Thompson, J.C. Horn, Xavier Woods, former Vikings legend. Of course, Jeremy Chin is an absolute stud as well. So, again, I get it. From a talent standpoint, the Panthers defense can be good to go. And Evero, let's be honest. So Vic Fangio didn't work out as a head coach, but his defense was still solid. His defense was still really good in 2021. Evero kept the standard in 2022, and now he's bouncing to Carolina, and he has a young, talented group of players that played well on defense for Steve Wilks, who the Vikings should now interview, by the way. But they did well for Steve Wilks, and now Evero gets to take over that unit, and he could probably parlay this into a head coaching gig. So, hats off to him. I fully understand and respect his decision. Carolina has slightly better weather in the winter than here in Minnesota. And like I said, it seems like the Panthers paid him all the money. So it sort of is what it is. But still sucks. So all in on Flores, I guess. Or I can't wait. So Flores gets a different job or doesn't take the Vikings job. And then Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi at the Combine, which is their next press conference, have to stand up there and be like, Mike Pettine was our first choice all along. Just great. Fantastic, man. But your thoughts are thoughts. Ejiro Evero not becoming the next Vikings defense coordinator. He signs on with the Panthers. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. Until next time, Skull Production Value.